All right. We are here with David Orban. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We're here at the Futurists Summit, and David was one of the key speakers as well. David, tell us about the fact that most people might know, and some wouldn't as well, that you're the first investor in Ethereum.
I just was
Lucky.
in the right place in the right time. I was very early in Bitcoin as well.
Correct, that's what I was
And
going to say, because
so-
that's why my main...
Yeah, so I have been following blockchain and its evolution because I was part of the team that designed the Singularity University at the NASA Research Park, and I developed a thesis around how exponential technologies are leading towards decentralization. And you can see it in energy, where anyone can set up a solar panel and start producing energy. You can see it in manufacturing with digital 3D printing or personalized health and so many other areas. So for me, when Bitcoin was born, it was a perfect solution for how we achieve decentralization in the world of finance and payments.
Absolutely. So I wanted to come back to Bitcoin, Bitcoin being the godfather, and it has a special place in my heart. Tell us about Bitcoin. How did you enter to that journey?
I was in the previous millennium, in the 1990s, part of the so-called cypherpunk movement.
Okay.
We tend to ask ourselves questions that have been answered already. In the US, in those years, the government believed that citizens couldn't be trusted with strong encryption. It was illegal. And people actually had to go to Switzerland to get encryption that was strong enough so that the US couldn't guaranteedly decipher what you were talking about. But then things changed, and through the cypherpunk movement, people were asking themselves, okay, how could payments be made also secure and digital? And there were a lot of attempts that didn't work, and it was really the coming together of many different technologies that gave rise to what we now call Bitcoin. The genius of Satoshi Nakamoto was in his ability to recognize that these different components were all necessary. I published an article, I think in 2012 or 2013 in Bitcoin magazine, where I actually offered an alternative metaphor for what we call mining. I said, well, mining is kind of an egotistical individual activity, but what we are doing with Bitcoin is beautiful. We could call these activities weaving, where it is a communal activity, where the single transactions are threads, and the threads together give rise to the tapestry that are the applications on top of Bitcoin.
Correct.
And everyone who read the article loved it, and it, as you know, gained absolutely zero traction in the industry, and we are still calling them miners. And then those who don't understand what is going on are looking at miners as if they were doing something wrong, rather than doing a service for everyone on the planet so that we can have secure transactions.
Absolutely. David, what do you think is the Eureka moment where you believe to see in the blockchain or the finance space coming next, or even now?
I think that after El Salvador, the next to be the United States to say, oh, by the way, we need a strategic Bitcoin reserve. How can you go bigger than that? It is really a final moment of triumph against anyone who would say for the past 15 years, oh, Bitcoin is a fad or a scam or whatever. The largest economy in the world recognizes that they cannot afford not to hold Bitcoin.
Absolutely. I totally agree. That is actually a huge moment where people don't see it, and once that happens, and it is happening, it's going to lead to a lot of other ripple effects. In this space over here now, and where we are in the region, you come here often, and now you're staying here as well. We're here at the Futurists Summit. Where do you think the region here in the MENA is heading to? Abu Dhabi being the capital of capital, Dubai being leading the whole digital asset space and with the virtual assets, the central bank of the UAE leading a lot on the fintech aspect of things.
A couple of years ago, I was invited as a guest of the government, and I received a wonderful protocol treatment that those who had the pleasure of going through recognize as peerless. But besides of that, my goal of being here, and of course speak at a really well-organized conference, was to ask myself, is there a genuine belief in the ambitious declarations that the leadership makes about innovation, about being future-oriented, about wanting to implement progress? And I came away from that experience telling myself, yup, it's genuine. Now, there is, of course, a lot of support around that. And it is necessary because you can be as an important leader as the ones that we see here, but if you don't have the support, then your words cannot take root. So I am seeing year after year, as I build my experience in the region, that this implementation is happening. And of course, nothing is perfect. The traffic jams of Dubai are famous, for example. The road system needs improvement. I hope the Boring Company is going to be invited soon to
it's being improved on the daily as well.
To turn the traffic into a 3D solution of a 2D problem. But that is the point. Experimenting solutions is what is happening here. From a regulatory point of view, from an entrepreneurial point of view, and the financial resources are available to make it happen. So I am very positive that the role that the UAE found over the past 30 years is going to be sustainable for the next 30 and more.
Wonderful. David Orban, do you think tokenization of real-world assets is going to be bigger than DeFi in terms of adoption? Where do you see this new, we'll call it a trend, but it's going a lot, there's so much depth into it. I would love to have your 2 cents on it.
It will be hard for you to ask me a question where I will say, oh, no. All of that, yes, but no, you are going too far. I have been talking about Bitcoin at conferences in front of thousands of people, telling them, I'm not saying it is not an experiment, let's say 10 years ago or 15 years ago, but why don't you get your hands dirty? Just try and see what it means and what it implies for you and for your life and your community. And people would come back to me and say, oh, I heard you talk about Bitcoin, but now Bitcoin is $100, it's too late.
Absolutely.
And I would tell them, maybe, maybe not.
Same
and then a year
today.
later, they would say, oh, now Bitcoin is $1,000, it's too late. Still not. So what is Bitcoin now, 100,000, 150? If you ask me, I will say it's not too late. Now, what does that mean? Bitcoin is becoming the denominator against which to measure everything, including the return on investments. So, should we tokenize assets? Absolutely, because it is time that we embrace the digital world that was born, let's say, in the 70s of the previous century, and we are still here asking ourselves if computers on the stock exchange should go to sleep by night or take the weekend off, and the answer is no, they shouldn't. They cannot wait, but help in 24/7. But the implication of tokenizing assets is that their new hyper liquid nature will compare their returns with this new denominator. So are you promoting a real estate investment? Are you promoting a tokenized stock? Are you promoting a fund? Perfectly fine. I will compare your performance with Bitcoin.
Wonderful. I would like to ask you one last question. In your book, Something New, AIs and Us, where do you see like it just the whole redefining humanity? Tell us about that and tell us about the concept of identity and create.
We have been reinventing ourselves and what it means to be human since we started exploring the planet.
Correct.
100,000 years ago, we were hunters and gatherers. Then with the invention of agriculture, we increased the population a thousandfold and more. And we have been able now to build a civilization where just 1% is enough to feed everyone. That is magnificent. That is why we are able to dedicate so much time to ask ourselves ever more useful questions and find answers. Science and technology come out of our ability to explore the world in improving ways. And that is what we will continue. Today we are worried about how AI and robots are going to take away jobs without understanding that we were not born to lead stultifying lives where we are mistakenly proud of going home tired and hopeless because every day we do something that doesn't follow our passion and purpose. So if we lose our jobs, that will be a triumph because robots will do them and all of us will embrace what today only a small community is pursuing, what we call entrepreneurship. All of us will have the opportunity to identify challenges that we are passionate about and that we can build initiatives to address and to solve. We will not order anyone to join us, but we will persuade them. We will challenge them to see how important to address that particular thing is, small or large. And that is what is going to define what is value and purpose for a human life in the future.
Wonderful. David Orban, thank you for being with us here at the Futurists Summit in partnership with The Block. It was wonderful having you, and I'm looking forward to see you more often here in Dubai.
Thank you very much.